Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're gonna dive right back into Elite Zoo North. And no, that is not me misspeaking, that is exactly what we're gonna do, diving into Elite Zoo North for a couple of reasons actually. Now, I know many of you aren't super familiar with Elite Zoo North. I know some of you haven't watched the first season of our, sort of Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, and that's perfectly cool. Just wanted to touch on something that I think I've mentioned before a couple times here and there, but just to further clarify, and it's gonna make sense as we get into what I need to do here. But Elite Zoo North is our Northern Hemisphere zoo. Not only is it located in the Northern Hemisphere, but all Northern Hemisphere animals are located at Elite Zoo North, with a couple of Southern Hemisphere animals, as you've seen before, which is why we were able to bring the saltwater crocodiles over from here. Why we were able to bring the Galapagos tortoises from here as well. So there's a bit of mingling going on, but primarily Elite Zoo North is our Northern Hemisphere zoo. The reason why we're coming back here is twofold. One is that I actually forgot to do one of these sponsor boards last session, and I'm extremely sorry about that. As I say always, if I ever do something like that, if I ever miss something or made a mistake or anything like that, feel free to let me know in the comments or, ping me a private message, and I will, go in and correct that. This time it's one sponsor board that I missed, so I'm going to go ahead and correct that right away, because there's also another thing as well that we will be taking care of at Elite Zoo North, and some of you may have already noticed or seen it, but for those of you that haven't seen it or aren't aware, or perhaps, don't own the game and so you don't follow along with the community challenges, the current community challenge has to do with releasing North American animals, and in fact we load in just in time. Look how long it takes to load into Elite Zoo North. It's kind of wild. Thankfully there was plenty to talk about though, but as we can see over here, the community challenge right now, Howling Harmony, released 60,000 North American animals to the wild. We're already 45% of the way there as a community. Can you hear the beautiful harmonies of the timber wolves? How about the roar of the grizzly bears awakening from hibernation? No? Let's change that. Release timber wolves and other North American animals to the wild this week. We've got them, I don't want to say in droves, but we have quite a few North American animals. And as you guys know, I think very well by now, I like to participate in these challenges when possible. This is one that I think we can participate in. It'll just take us a little bit of time at the top of this episode, but right afterwards, we're going to dive back into Elite Zoo South and dive into a time lapse, dive into our trade session. There is so much to do today, so let's not waste any more time, folks. As I say always, again, if there's anything you'd like to share with me, whether it is an idea, a thought, a feeling, an opinion, whatever it might be, feel free to leave a comment down below, folks. I will read all of the comments. Even if you're watching this months from now, I will read all the comments. So, leave a message down below with regards to anything you see in a channel. Reason why I'm touching that again is because, this is a literal case of me fixing a mistake that I made by my own oversight last session, and all you have to do is let me know, and I'll dive in and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But yes, let's go ahead and get our latest sponsor, our new latest. I know we had one from last session as well, but now we have our new latest sponsor at Elite Zoo North. This time for the Arctic wolves. Can we spot one? There we go. Look at that. Look at these beauties. God, they are beautiful, aren't they? Oh, look at how many we have. In fact, are you North American animals too? I just want to check how the game classifies them and stuff. I'm looking for Zoopedia. There we go. Really quickly here. You are North America. Yes, I wasn't sure. For some reason, I had it in my head that... Oh no, I was thinking about the Siberian tiger. While loading in, I was thinking about all the animals, and I was like, yeah, the Siberian tiger, we've got the wolves, and somewhere in my head, I think Arctic wolf became Siberian wolf. Anyway, so yeah, we do have quite a few North American animals, but first order of business is to get our latest Arctic wolf sponsor involved over here. Thank you very much, as always, to the supporters, not just of the zoo, but the channel as well. We've got here, we get this spelled correctly, and the best way to do that is to copy from my notes. Bethany Shane. I want to make sure we are matching the typeface and everything as well. Go ahead and make sure the name is fitting in nicely too. Just the one sponsor where we're adding, and then again, we're going to go around and take a look at the animals that we can trade and see what we can do about, not trade, but release to the wild, and then trade and Elite Zoo South action and all that beautiful stuff. So Bethany Shane added in as our latest sponsor for the Arctic Wolves and our latest sponsor at Elite Zoo North. Now, let's take a look at the community challenge here. And again, folks, let me know what you think about community challenges and stuff like that and getting involved. I mean, the last time we got involved, I saw a lot of positive vibes. I saw a lot of interest. So that's good to see. And because of that, I'm like, all right, cool. Folks are interested in seeing that executed. So let's, when we get the opportunity, let's dive into it. I won't do any that, take me out of my way, but this one is one we can really get involved in. I would love to see this accomplished, not just because I'm also personally involved, but also because I like when I love this kind of stuff in video games, this kind of like community-focused stuff. I think it's really cool. It's a neat way to, use the internet that's not just, versus modes and whatnot. It's a cooperative angle to it. I quite like it. So, we need to make sure we're releasing them to the wild, right? I need to make sure I don't trade them out, release them to the wild. So let's start with our Arctic Wolves over here, because we are right over here. We have Sikinik, our alpha. I'm not going to trade you out. We have, let's say, a couple of them over here, don't we? Who is our primary female? Well, you are. I'd love to talk a little bit on the older side over here. Decent stats. I mean, we could swap the alpha female out right now for a new alpha female. Could release you to the wild. No, we can't. I guess because she was adopted. In that case, we'll let her finish her days off at Elite Zoo North. When every once in a while, I'll hop back over here. But Kirelia over here, decent stats. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Oof, it's so weird to come back to take care of the old zoo. It really does feel like it's franchise mode, so it makes sense. Just strange though. It's just a strange feeling though. So that's a 1, right? I want to make sure. Yep, there's our 1. Good stuff. Good stuff. Who else? Nanook. Oh, it's hard to. It's a cute name. It's a difficult one to let go of. But it is better for the species. Make sure we don't have to actually flip this, but I just noticed the bright red, so I went ahead and did it. I released you to the wild as well. There we go. Good stuff. Pretty good genes and whatnot. Why are you so cute? Why do you stand out as exceptionally adorable? You're just like, I don't know. Like, am I mistaken? You're not a pup? No, I don't know. But Tapisa, you must go as well. But once more becomes a den of just our alphas over here. Social. They'll be fine with just 2, I think. No, let's keep 3. Let's keep 3. They're pack animals. We have plenty of other animals that we can also release to the wild. So that's our Arctic wolves. I don't think polar bears. Unfortunately, they're only ever in like pairs and whatnot. So we're not going to be so adorable. We're not going to be releasing any of them out right now because we don't have like a quote-unquote surplus, so to speak. Though we do have, I'm sure, plenty of bison and yes, we have, oh my god. Look at this. Look at it. Oh, look at this. What a cutie. Look at this. What a cutie. Oh my god. I've had the pleasure of, tangentially related, I've had the pleasure of feeding a baby cow, like a calf. It's just, they're such cute animals. Such cute animals. But look at this. Look at this. We can definitely contribute significantly to this endeavor over here. Offspring due soon, so you're staying. You're a little bit on the older side. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild though. Infinity. Oh, look at these stats. Amazing stats. Let's go ahead and set you loose. Embrace. No, we will embrace you. You have offspring inbound. October, right? Nah, October's too long to sit here and play through until October just to get a few more babies. Zantara over here. Now, how many do we actually have? Let me check here real quick. How many do we actually have? Look to these guys. Wow. Wow. Big numbers. Those are big numbers. In fact, these guys as well, we have quite a few, right? Yeah, we do. We can definitely reduce the numbers over here a little bit. Release to the wild as well. We were getting some fantastic stats on these animals. Like, ridiculously fantastic. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, our first, like, A triple-star animal was a pronghorn antelope, if I recall correctly. Benjamin, you get to stick around, I guess, even though you're a little bit on the older side. Keep you around. You might still have a couple babies in you. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yardley. See, look at these stats. Maybe keep Yardley around. Mia. Oh my. They're just all so good. Alright, in that case, Yardley. Set you free. Release you. I mean, they'd better be North American. I mean, they are. Like, I know they are, but I was just like, does the game not maybe count them for some reason or something? I don't know. Wait, net offspring due soon. What about over here? Embe offspring due. Okay, so Mia, maybe we should release to the wild as well. Oof. Really proud of our pronghorn antelopes, actually. Fills me with great joy to see them all have such high stats. It's always hard to come back to like these animals and look, not hard, but it's not something we often do, is come back to animals that are so numerous and look at each and every one of their stats individually. So being able to do it today just really kind of highlights how good they really were. Now the bison, I don't know if it's the same story for them. What do we have over here? Embe. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Or sorry, Embre. There's an R on there. Release you to the wild. Okay, good stuff. Back over here, Laura. Look at Buddy over here. Oh, I thought for some reason. Oh, it's because there's the mound. It looked like he was up in the air. Those front legs. Benjamin gets to stay. He's the alpha. Laura. How many? I thought we had many more. Oh, we had many more. Oh yeah, we do. Where are all of you hiding? Oh, right up over here. You're not hiding at all. I'm just blind. Oh my lord, look at these stats. Right, in that case, you know what? Flora, let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about these contributions. Not gonna lie. Abigail, let's release you to the wild as well. Again, these stats are not bad. Silver though they might be, the stats are not bad. Good for the future of the species. Release you to the wild as well. There we go. You know, endangered as the bison is. What are we looking at now? Lots of babies here. Yeah. Keep our alphas over here. Lots of babies inbound. The happiness is just low because we haven't hit play, and enrichment stays low until you hit play. But that's pretty good. All right, good stuff. Whoa. That lag though. That lag though, eh? What else do we have over here? We've contributed 10. Did we take it from 44 to 45%, do you think? Well, we helped take it there. Well, we'll collect rewards when it's all done. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. We're one of the top contributors. Oh, man. Please, if any of you have North American animals, please consider releasing some of them to the wild so we can accomplish this one. I'd feel so happy. It'd be our biggest, haul, I suppose, from one of these community events. And I don't get to take part in them so often, you know? We got a lot of wolves here. A lot of them really old, eh? We should manage these guys a little bit. I mean, not right now, but maybe sometime in the future if we come back to Elite Zoo North for some work over here. It would be good to have, like, Go On or Everny be our new alphas. Right now they're all related. Feels kind of... You can see why these guys are all so old. It's because I grow attached and I have a hard time even releasing them to the wild. They're so old. Not the best stats either. You know, let's keep them around. We do have the bears over here. Unfortunately, again, bears aren't the most numerous. They are very adorable, though. Tyler over here. And back over there we have Vlora. Very common name among these North American animals, I suppose. Yeah, we don't have too many of them. Do flamingos... Flamingos are sort of everywhere, but I don't think they count as North American. They're very much like Middle East and South Asia and stuff like that. Maybe even parts of Europe. I think they count as per the Zoopedia entry over here at least. Yeah. Oh, even Africa and Europe. Yeah. Widespread, but not North America at all. Who else? Camelot. My God, still gets a chuckle out of me. I wish you could filter this by region. You know. I don't actually quite know if we have any other North American animals. These guys, Central America, interesting. Because, you know, politically, Mexico is North America, but unless that's changed somehow, and I didn't notice it happen. But that's what I was hoping with Mexico involved over here. You'd expect these guys to be North America as well, but perhaps not, it would seem. Who else? I don't think anybody else counts against it. We will have next session as well, so if you guys think of anybody that I've missed out on, let me know, and we can go in and course correct. Make sure we contribute as much as we can. But I do believe that is all for that topic of conversation. Pretty happy with that, though. Pretty happy with that. That was quite a bit of work there. Let's take a quick look over here. That was 10 animals. Not bad. And we could release more. I mean, if I'm willing to, you know, leave send some of my my wolves out. I'm really curious what these rewards would be as well, right? Really curious what those rewards would be as well. In fact, actually, if we go to the trade center right now, we have tried to trade out some of our pronghorn antelopes over here a couple of times with no luck. Did we manage to get them all? Yeah, of course, last time they all get picked up. We actually have significantly fewer animals than like that trade session was very successful, I would say. The one we did last time. We have William over here. William, I suppose we could release you to the wild, buddy. I know it's better to do them from inside the enclosure, but yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Look at those stats, though. It's okay. It's not about conservation credits all the time, right? Release you to the wild. There we go. Roam free, buddy. Roam free. Besides, we'll get conservation credits from these as well. Damn, I was really hoping that it was just a matter of one more animal to pop us over to the highest tier. Who knows? You know, as other people start to contribute, my standing might drop significantly. But hopefully we'll get some animals out of this. And if they end up being suitable for Elite Zoo South, then that would be excellent. Because it lines up with what we're doing next. I believe that's everything we have to do over here. One thing I want to touch on that I wanted to touch on for a while, because I mentioned it a couple times, but many of you, again, I'm aware, aren't familiar with the area. But whenever I refer to the orangutan enclosure, which I know I do a lot of the time, I'm referring to this construct over here where they actually have two side-by-side spaces, and they're able to go across using either the central bridge or this bridge that was built for our workers, for our staff as well. That's what I'm often referring to when I talk about the orangutan enclosure. And since we're looking at the orangutan enclosure, can't leave without saying hello to buddies over here. Hello. And hello. And hello, cutie. Oh, look at you. Look at that curious face. Looking around the corner there. Where's our... Oh, there he is. I love how they look. Look at that. How serene. Completely calm. Anyway. Let's go ahead and... You know what? We could do our trade session with this view in the background. It's not a view we often have in the background, so why not? Why not? Let me go ahead and get that tweet out. As I've mentioned before, I try to let everybody know when I'm doing it. This is a different day. It's a different time, so hopefully that opens up a new audience. I actually got a comment last session about like maybe doing it for the weekend sessions. Great idea. Now, if this session doesn't do very well, then over the weekend maybe we do another one. Maybe not this weekend, but maybe the weekend afterwards we do another trade session. And that'll be like the, you know, quote-unquote third strike for our animals before we release them to the wild, or just do a quick trade with them or something like that. But yeah, time for another trade session in Planet Zoo. Many of the same animals as last time. Again, send... Wheat, yes. Alright, let's get that out there, and let's get to work over here. So we're going to do the trade session, and then we're going to dive into our time-lapse that will be at Elite Zoo South. But I figured it'd be nice to, you know, we don't often spend... Yeah, look at that. It does feel so so strangely complete, right? Because it is. But it's funny coming here and thinking back on when this zoo looked incomplete and a little messy, and then thinking about Elite Zoo South and where it's lacking and what it needs versus where this was and how long it took to get to certain things. It's always fun to come back. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get our animal trading over here, because that's as far as I can go. Cool. Over to the storage. And the first order of business is the West African lion. No, I think we're going to keep Jabulani here. We will be sending some of the cubs back in, and maybe some of the females back in as well. I don't know about all of them, but certainly some of them. Oh man, we have some really high stats over here, don't we? I believe Jabulani, Falami and Jabulani will stay because they are, we could use them as like alternate pairs for leucistic lions, right? Salehe is our OG dad. Don't want to lose him. That's a cub. Namono. Theo. Malawa. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of them out. Edicina over here. Those are good stats. Let's start with Edicina. Animal market. How much do those West African lions go for? Looking for the W here. In more ways than one. I know how to spell. RSTUVW. Thank you. 2000. Okay, that's all right. 2000 is not bad. 2000 is a decent haul. On over here, 787. Yikes. 10K. Every time I see those. Sure. 2200. I say we could go to. Actually, I think ours are a little better than that. We could probably go to 2500. I don't think that'd be unreasonable, if I'm completely honest. Right, Edicina? Yeah, I say we go 2500. Raid. Love not being able to click. 2500. Go ahead and send you away. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. It would be wise to also send Namono. Oh wait, no, we'll keep Namono because we have more males and females. We'll have more cubs. They'll be higher quality cubs. Down the line, we can trade them out. Like there's options, right? And I believe Namono is not related to our current father. If I compare mates, will it show me? No. I was wondering if it would show me the trade center or lead to south. Nonetheless, that's them done. Now the Siberian tigers here. These are really good Siberian tigers. We have our Siberian tigers over here. We haven't been able to really investigate those trades and the viability of them because we've never been at Elite Zoo North while doing them, lately. Olga over here is a fantastic specimen, as is Buddy over here that we looked at last session as well. Where is our... That's the zebra. Where's our male? Buddy, where you at? With the old-fashioned way, I suppose. Go ahead. Stanislav. How did I miss him? I guess the camera was here and I just like scrolled right over him or something. Okay. Anyway, he's pretty good as well. Got some years left in him. You got some years left in you. So I guess we can at least trade one of our Siberian tigers out. Because they're both pretty good. Galina, I suppose, can go. Galina becomes Golina. Theater here is just, I mean, oh my god. These are extremely good stats. It's like, what am I doing with them, though? I know is something to think about as well. It's like, they're just sitting there. Why do I keep them sitting there? Because in my head canon, they're in the north, like Elite Zoo North storage center, where time is frozen, right? That's why I'm like okay with it. But we were looking at the Siberian tiger. Where are you at? There we go. S is for Siberian. There we go. Siberian tigers. Female. Check again over here. Yeah, you are in fact leucistic. So we should look at that for a comparison point. How the market works. 5K. Those are actually really good stats. Olga over here. Also good stats as well. A bit more of a reasonable price. I could probably go like 1500 or so. Probably go 1500 or so. Again, I say that's reasonable. I should have looked at my numbers before we started this. Things haven't changed. So we're at 1777. 17,779. 13779. That's an interesting number. 1500 for Galina. Whoa, almost traded you at that price. We can always cancel it, but... now we wanted to keep both Chahaya and Elok over here. I could trade them out. Our saltwater crocs at Elite Zoo South are doing okay. Got a constant supply of baby. We could trade one of them out. Right? Like they're good stats, but their offspring will also likely be good stats. They can't mate with each other because they are related, I'm fairly certain. Let me just click on the animals. I want to compare them. 75, 75, 83, 67. Come on. There we go. Alright. Elok is better, so Chahaya. You're going to have to trade it out here. Let's figure out what pricing they go for. Saltwater crocs. Close to the S for Siberian tiger because they start with the same letter. Funny how alphabetical order works. It's almost like it follows the alphabet. Okay. Funny how clicking works. It's almost like it doesn't. Come on, man. Close it. Close this tab. Oh, my lord. Okay. Not a lot of money to be, or not a lot of conservation credits to be made over here, actually. 185, 190, 200. 550 over here. So special about you? Not much. We could try aiming for like a 500 or something. Try aiming for like a 500. I think that's reasonable. Where you at? There you are. Hiya. Trade. I don't know. I wonder if it's a little overpriced. It's funny, after every trade session, like, without hesitation, there are at least some comments about, like, man, you're underpricing your animals a lot. And I always go, am I really, though? I don't know. I feel like we're fine. I feel like we're fine. Let's go ahead and trade these guys out as well. For 100 conservation credits. I'll take what I can get over here. They're not the best. A little bit over their lowest possible pricing. And if they don't trade out for these, then I'll quick trade them or something, or release them to the wild. Maybe release them to the wild is more fitting. 100 for you as well. Unmole over here. Ooh, really bad actually. Why are you so bad? 75 for you. Flooding the market a little bit. These guys are good. Keepers. Keepers, these ones. Do I really need all of them? Between Viraj and Tejas, who's better? I'm assuming Tejas is better. Yeah. So Viraj, you've been a father to many of ours. Now it's time for you to move on and be a father to many of somebody else's. Let's go ahead and trade you out for, like, these are good stats. Age isn't that bad either. I don't think, at least. Let's trade you out for 200. Let's try that. See if that flies. We're gonna keep Hermione over here. Might actually bring him in this session to avoid more inbreeding. Bengal tigers, hard to let go of, as always. It's Kali over here. I think we're good to trade you out. I think we're good to trade you out. You know what? I'm just gonna double check our Baird's tapir situation at Elite Zoo South before I make that call. Fairly confident though, and I want to do that as well before we take a look at our Jaguars too, because again, I'm pretty sure we can trade all of them out except for our Ks and our A-stars. I think that's what we did last time. But just to be sure, let's make our way over to Elite Zoo South. I will check on the Jaguars. I will check on the Baird's tapir. It also gives a bit more of a time gap between us starting the trade and us ending the trade, ever so slightly. But you know, every minute counts sometimes. We'll go ahead and do that. To again, maybe further expand the reach of this trade session. We'll see what it does for us. All right, so welcome back to Elite Zoo South. It feels good to be back. It automatically feels so much warmer just because of the warm color tones and whatnot. But let's go ahead and take a look at these animals over here and see. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, you're swimming. Okay, I was like, are you standing on your hind legs in the water? Let's take a look at these animals over here and see what we. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, stop distracting me with your cuteness. Let's take a look at these animals over here. Quite a few in the trade center, as we very well know. Quite a few babies as well. I think we'll be fine to trade everybody else out. Not to. You are the new father, so let's go ahead and mark you as such, the new dad, as it were. And we have our mum here as well, if I recall correctly, already set. Ahua. Go ahead and name you appropriately. They still have many years in them. Both of them, right? Let's take a look at social. Yeah. How old are you? Many years left. We have kids coming up as well. Quackshawk? I can't remember now. The X is like a sh sound, I believe. Decent stats, not the best. What about you? I couldn't see you. Oh, you. I know what you're up to. Look at that concentration. Look at that determination. Yeah, they're okay stats. But again, right, there's much time left for much more baby making and much more high quality stats as a result. Let's just take a look over here. Chippewa. Yeah, we can get some really high stats over here. So the breeding pair we have right now is excellent. The babies we have right now are promising, but they'll probably be traded out. In fact, you know what? I need to get into these habits here. I need to get into these habits that will make it so much easier in the future to manage these things as it gets better. I got into those habits a little bit during Elite Zoo North, but then, you know, when we came to Elite Zoo South and it was relatively small, I got into bad habits again. But I believe that's everybody here, right? Oh, no, we've got you still. Molly hiding from me. Up over here. Ah, there we go. See, that's a potential keeper. But we have many potential keepers already. So, you know what? You'll be up for trade. Over with our Baird's tapirs over here, we do have a new baby, yes. We have a new baby with good stats. With great stats, actually. Where are our adults over here, though? Not adult giant anteaters. Why do we have so many giant anteaters? Oh, because you're not a giant anteater. You're just two animals clipping together to look like you're one. These guys are pretty good. They're alright. They're okay. Alright, cool. So we are, in fact, able to continue our trading over here. Beginning with, let's do the Baird's tapir first. It's just the one. Oh, gotta do this, and then that. Whoops. Double click that mistake there. 4,900 over here. 420 down over here. 280. I'm liking this 4,900 a fair sight more. Might split the difference, go with like a 2K or something like that. I don't feel like that's unreasonable. I mean, it's a high quality animal. It is a high quality animal, but we can try. Sure, you know, let's try 1,500. I feel a bit better about that. I think might still be unreasonable. Well, let me know as always in the comments. Apart from that, right? Are we really trading all of them out? The A star over here, Chippewa. Yeah, we'll keep you. Buttermuck, why are we keeping you? I guess we said we're keeping you. Or did I just not change your name the last time? Again, I wish you could edit names over here as well. It's like I don't know why not. I never understand this about user interfaces where you're able to edit an item, but you can't do it everywhere where you interact with it. In a management screen. I don't know. Yes, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get started over here with the Jaguars. Any species. J for Jaguar. Not a criticism, but it's feedback. I mean, feedback's always important. I find, at least. That's why I always seek it out. That is a lot of melanistic Jaguars. That is a lot of them. Are they all from the same spot? No, they're not. Easier to tell if the clicking worked. That is a complaint. Oh my, come on, click at least once. Yeah, I think they're from different places. Some of them are from the same. Okay, well, they're a different matter altogether. We're looking at like 500s, 500, 700s. I mean, ours are all gold ranked, so definitely more than this. Maybe like, I don't know, I feel like 1,000 is not unreasonable for the quality of genes that we're sending around. Let's see by price over here. Or let's not, because the clicking doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, I can't deal. I can't deal right now. I just can't. Let's go ahead and let's see what the game suggests, and we'll. Yeah, see, we got to go at least 1,500 if the game's suggesting this, right? Like, these are good stats, clearly, more than I understand them to be even. Guatemala, meanwhile. Let's try 2,500. Let's see, right? Tipawa, I suppose you're saying. No Chewatl. If I could select you. Oh, man, really good stats. Trade you as well, 1,750 maybe. Hopefully we get some buyers. It would be nice to have some more conservation credits moving forward. Just for some of the other animals that we'll be getting in the very near future. I've been asked, by the way, like, oh, where are the West African, like, wild dogs and whatnot? They're coming. Every animal will be covered by this playthrough, either through Elite Zoo North or Elite Zoo South. So, dingoes, West African dogs, hyenas, okapis. I've got so many requests, like, oh, are you going to do them? Are you going to? I totally am. I totally am. Feel free to keep asking. You know, I welcome the reminders, I mean. But they are coming. I just want to give like the blanket statement because I saw a lot of questions last session of like, are these guys coming? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. At least that's the plan. Something could happen that stops the plan from coming to fruition, I suppose. But the plan is they're all coming. So get hype because I'm excited to see how far we can push Elite Zoo South for sure. I mean, we pushed Elite Zoo North to the limits of the game. It lags so much when you play. When you like hit play and let time move forward. Trade you for 1500 over here. Cool. Nicolau, I don't know what to do with you, buddy. I don't know what to do with you, man. Let's see. Giant anteaters. Giant anteaters. Giant. Oh. Go. Let's say it like 3 times. Giant anteaters. There we go. Beautiful. None available right now. Okay. Well, we could see what we could do. Maybe there's just no interest. Right. Where are you? Where'd you go, buddy? There you are. Nicolau. Trade you for maybe 500 at most. Try that. I don't know. He's not terrible. I don't know why I'm downplaying his stats. I mean, it's just the bronze is like, everything else is gold, and then we got a bronze animal. The stats are pretty good. I actually don't know why Nicolau is bronze. Stats are pretty good. It looks like one trade has already gone through, actually, so that's nice to see. Who was it? Ushil. Oh, hey, look at that. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, just being super cheap will sometimes net you more conservation credits than, you know, aiming high, I suppose. But we'll see what we get out of that trade session. I think it'll be a pretty fruitful one. But the reason why I want to do that up front is because as we dive into a time lapse, time will go through, and we will at the end of the time lapse be able to see what our success rate was over there, and then maybe we'll consider doing another trade session. I don't know about immediately after the time lapse, but maybe I'm tempted to. That way, you know what, the trade session that I've tweeted about goes on for longer, so to speak. And maybe there's a better chance. We'll see. We'll see. Nonetheless, point being, it's time-lapse time. Alright, folks, this time-lapse is a very interesting one for me, personally at least, and I hope you feel the same way as well at the end of it. But the reason why it's such an interesting one for me, again, personally, is because it really gave me a chance to explore some of the Africa pieces in a way that I haven't done before, which is to say at all, really. Like, we... all of my playing of Planet Zoo, well, all is a bit of an exaggeration, but like I would say 95% more accurately of my Planet Zoo playtime, you've probably witnessed. You've seen, outside of the time when the recordings were crashing, and throughout that entire journey we've had with, did I call the game Elite Zoo there? I meant Planet Zoo. I'm completely blanking. But throughout my time with Planet Zoo so far, I haven't used the Africa pieces. Maybe 1 or 2 here and there for some decorative elements, but not at this scale. So this really gave me relatively early on in our expansion of the Africa section, this really gave me an opportunity to see how we can push some of these pieces in ways that when I kind of first started playing the game and first exposed myself to the construction methods and whatnot in the game, I would have not thought these sort of ideas, I guess, possible. Calling them ideas is a little gratuitous, but just like using these wall pieces in ways to create shapes that they're not naturally made for, or using those curved elements in ways that I would otherwise maybe not even think about, building like the little details in with the architectural pieces. Like oh man, being at Elite Zoo North at the beginning has definitely like triggered some nostalgia. But like, remember when at first, I remember the early like construction days of me struggling with like the grid and trying to put everything on the grid and whatnot, etc., etc. I mean, a good way to avoid having to struggle with the grid is to make everything curved like this. But it's just so funny for me looking back at it when I would be so hesitant to manipulate all these grid-based items without the grid, and just now being like, nah, the grid's just there as an example. We can duplicate these pieces individually and do whatever we want with them. It's just stuff like that. It's been a fun time lapse for me in a few different ways, because I had an opportunity to sort of think back on more or less a year ago now. Again, just a couple weeks ago was the 1-year anniversary of the game. It's just fun to think back on where I was and where I am now. But beyond that as well, toying with these new pieces, for me, new pieces, and seeing how they can be bent and manipulated to do interesting things before we go deeper and deeper into the Africa sections. I think this was a good, I think doing this time lapse now, like sooner rather than later, and building this construct sooner rather than later, has definitely given me a familiarity and a comfort with the pieces that doing anything else wouldn't have accomplished. So very happy to have done this, and I hope you all enjoy the structure and stuff as well. I saw the comments from last session. Many of you really liked the idea. I saw a couple of comments as well mentioning how you've missed the built elements, the structured elements, and how between going back to Elite Zoo North and the beginnings of this time lapse, there was that, it felt interesting to be looking at something a little different again, or to be looking at some of the stuff that we did back at Elite Zoo North, but with an Elite Zoo South flair or flavor to them. I totally get it, and I totally agree as well. It's just like, I think I mentioned this last session, or maybe 2 sessions ago, that I do want to find that balance, right, of integrating these constructed areas alongside the more natural areas that we've been doing, for however long now. And I feel like this was a good opportunity for me to do that with the section that we're heading into. So you can expect more of this for sure in the Africa section. I mean, the Africa section is going to be huge, right? Like, how many animals is it again? It's a lot of African animals in this game. So we have a lot of room to play around, and hopefully I'll be able to explore a variety of angles and styles. Like right now, if I think about it, the warthog enclosure and this enclosure, they're made of the same materials, ish. Obviously, the warthog enclosure has the thatch roofing, but similar materials. But they do still look and feel very different. So that's promising. How else can I push these pieces further? How else can I explore different opportunities, even if it's with the same pieces or with other pieces as well, right? Like there's the wood paneling pieces. There's the wood pieces that have been like multiple logs strapped together. There's all sorts of variety. Anyway, all that to say this, I'm excited, and doing this time lapse has made me even more excited than I already was, because I'm starting to kind of get in the groove with these Africa pieces. I think for the longest time, I was apprehensive, I was a little nervous, but now I'm starting to get comfortable, and I'm feeling a lot more, I'm looking a lot more forward to, unleashing myself, so to speak, on the Africa section, which for so long and inexplicably I felt a little, I guess, nervous about, uncertain about. I'm not sure what the word is, but point being, I'm excited. The plan over here, by the way, I will touch on this in the future as well, in the future, after the time lapse as well. But my plan for this giant, like, circular area just at the top of the screen over here, or just off the top of the screen over there, is to create a very nice, like, garden space kind of a thing. Again, toying around with vegetation, because I don't do that too much. Still pushing myself in ways that I haven't pushed myself before. But I have some very complex plans for that. I don't think I'll be able to get to that today, unfortunately. Well, no, rather, I know I didn't get to that today, because it is going to be a pretty big deal in terms of my own capabilities and in terms of the kind of stuff that we've done before. I'll describe it a bit more after the time lapse, so I'll leave future past party elite to it. For now, here you can see just plugging some of the holes, using those pillar pieces to fill in the gaps here and there, and building some, shade and things like that. That is something that I wasn't on top of at the beginning of Elite Zoo South, but now making sure I keep it as a top of mind kind of a thing, building a piece of shade over here so that folks can stand or sit near this board and educate themselves while feeling comfortable as well, trying to find a way to build that shade and make, integrate it in an interesting way. It's really coming together. I'm really happy with this space, but it's a massive space. It's larger than I realized, and as a result, I wasn't able to complete it today either. Now, I don't know if next session is going to be the completion of this, or if we'll flip to a different animal and then come back to this at a later time. I throw that question to you in the comments. I do throw it to the comments after the time lapse as well, so I apologize for repeating myself. But yeah, I mean, I thought I would get a fair bit further along, but I guess I spent so much time, exploring, making straight wall pieces into curved pieces and trying to get that to look right, that I didn't get as far as I wanted to. Now, that's not to say the time lapse is ending right now. We still make a fair bit of progress, but I just thought I'd touch on that as I shifted gears from talking about the future to talking about the present, as it were. But yeah, making a couple of adjustments over here, trying to match up to the floor over here. I like the idea of this entrance being further down the ramp than right at the top, but I might adjust its placement a little bit, depending on what I do with the station as a whole as well. Here now playing with these planter pieces as well. Again, wanted to feel like a proper space, right? I don't want to just like have like exposed dirt or just mud flooring everywhere. I want it to feel like it has like you saw what we did last session with the what is it called, elephant ears. Immediately that green pop against the brown brought life to the space, and that's why I want to make that huge circular area just to the right of us over here. Well, that's why I want to make that a bit of a garden space, because I feel like that green would contrast nicely with the reddish browns of the mud, and that would stand out, and it would make the space a lot more visually compelling. Now over here, I actually go ahead and again continue to use these pieces in ways that I would never have, tried or thought of previously, I guess. Just constantly trying to push myself to experiment with different things again. But yeah, using these same pieces, just flipping them white to match the planters and whatnot, and making my own planter, because why not? Why restrain myself to only the things called planters? But yeah, adding a bit more green over here, I really think it does bring the space to life, literally and metaphorically and artistically speaking as well. So very happy with that. Next up, I do also in this time lapse add a couple of vendors over here. We talked about it previously, I think 2 or 3 sessions ago now, but it's time to put them down. We have a chief beef and a pip shot water going down over here. I feel like those will be... Oh, the pip shot water is like always popular. The chief beef, I don't think we have too many chief beefs down, so I think that'd be nice, and plus I do have a name suggestion for it already that I wanted to implement. But I think for now, we're going to be adding these little education boards over here for deforestation and for poaching, and that's more or less the time lapse at this point. I do build little cases for these guys as well. I want to make sure that... I might adjust these in the future because I want to make sure that whatever feature we make behind them is visible, of course, as you're walking by it. So I might make some adjustments as to where these things lie, but I want to get the structure in there as well. But you can see, again, didn't really complete everything, but I think going in, I kind of had a gut feeling that I wouldn't, and I think you all probably did as well. At least some of you did. Admit it. Anyway, folks, that's the time lapse more or less done. Let me know what you think. Let me know your opinions, your thoughts, what you'd like to see next session as well, as I will, stress upon. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse and made a fair bit of progress there. Actually, I'm very pleased with the results so far. But familiarizing myself with all these pieces that I'm not super familiar with and all has definitely been taking its extra time. Seeing how we can play with and manipulate some of these pieces to create some of the environments and spaces we want to create has definitely taken some time. But I'm liking how it's all coming together. Like, there's a sense of space coming about in this area right now. Unfortunately, the fiddling about and whatnot has taken up more time than I would have anticipated. But I'm really liking some of the shapes and stuff that we're getting as well. Like, I really like how this wall has like this tangent going over here, joined to these columns and whatnot, but it's also still this circular element as well that we've managed to fit quite nicely. I was actually surprised that worked out as it did. We've got like these slight curves and stuff as well. I'm really quite pleased with the end results over here. They took a little bit of effort to line up and whatnot, but I think it was well worth it. I think the time investment was well worth it. And starting to experiment with some of these pieces to make our own custom planters as well has been an interesting sort of experience and endeavor. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I know it's not complete. It certainly isn't complete. I'm actually wondering how I transition from... Well, there's a couple things that I'm wondering, which is why I was like, okay, well, we're closing the end of time for the time lapse anyway, and there's a couple of questions I have for myself, and I suppose for all of you as well in the comments with regards to how this kind of closes off. What I'm planning to do over here actually is to create a really nice, well, I would like it to be a water feature. It won't be a waterfall, I promise. It will not be a waterfall. It will either be a fountain, like an actual fountain, or a water feature like we did with the koalas, except, complete at some point. It's kind of complete-ish, but like how we have the water flowing up over here when there's if you play for a little bit, you can kind of see like the rippling. What is this about? Is this the... Ooh, okay, a couple things to solve over here. But yeah, like how you can see the water rippling and then falling over the edge and whatnot, that kind of stuff. I'm thinking of doing a mixed... I guess I should call it water feature over here, where it's like it's gonna have a couple of layers. We're gonna have some foliage and whatnot, some greenery, but then also water falling around and stuff like that. Nope, not falling around, water trickling around. I don't know, you know what I mean. It's not gonna be like a waterfall, but it's gonna be like a water feature. Again, playing with those playing with materials, playing with the architectural elements and whatnot. These are mud walls, so having water near them isn't necessarily ideal, but they're... are they mud walls? Are they faux mud, so to speak? Are they like, a visual, what's the word I'm looking for? A not a metaphor, but like a visual parallel. Like they look like mud, but they're not. You know, like laminate flooring. It's not actual wooden flooring, but it passes, right? So just toying with a lot of ideas, maybe getting a little too theoretical in my head. But I got some fun plans for this for sure. But that'll take some fair bit of time itself. And then I'm trying to figure out as well how I want to integrate this villa of ours into the rest of the space. You know, is it the same style? Is it sort of like the hideousness of the Royal Ontario Museum, where you've got this like classical, old-fashioned, you know, look on this one side and this like horrendous, you know, construct on the other? I mean, obviously we're going to make it look beautiful, but I'm not a big fan of what the Royal Ontario Museum did to their facade. You can look it up if you want. It's the Royal Ontario Museum crystal. You'll have your answer. Worse than the glass pyramid outside the Louvre, if you could imagine. But yeah, so that's a big question mark for me. Is like, I'm not actually sure how I want to integrate this. What I've kind of done right now is I've made this into its own separate thing. So you kind of enter in here, so we can do something else entirely over here. Again, maybe blend, you know, the modern with the traditional or something like that. I don't know, toying with some ideas. I don't think we'll do that next session though. I feel like, let me know if I'm wrong. Again, as always, I turn to the comments for your suggestions and thoughts and opinions about this sort of stuff. I feel like we've spent a fair bit of time over here. We've got the gorillas in place. We've got them, you know, feeling comfortable and whatnot. It might be time for us to shift gears a little bit next session and maybe get a different animal added in instead. I'm thinking all the way on the other side. We've been talking about the dingoes for a while. Maybe it's time to show the dingoes some love and get them integrated so we can start sort of progressing, you know, start making this connection towards the Central Africa region over here. I don't mean that in the sense of, you know, like I mean in the sense of like our zoo. But yeah, we can start making progress towards that on both sides. So we could do that. I'm down for that. I'm down for dingoes. Go back to Australia. We haven't done it in a while. And again, sort of pacing myself, right? There's like 50, exaggerating, 50 African animals, but only 4 Australian animals. And then we've got the skink as well to add, because we've done all the other exhibits. So I want to make sure that I kind of like spread the love, so to speak, and go back and forth at the appropriate pace. Let me know what you think about that. It's either that, either we do the dingoes over here, or I continue progressing up this way with my other plans that I have for you know, what goes on over here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I'm cool either way. I do have ideas for both sides ish. I've got like, you know, the seeds of ideas for both sides, so I'm cool either way. But I think it's time that we step away from the gorillas for a little bit, and maybe when we do like a beauty pass or something, or maybe when we, you know, go in for our finishing touches, we have a couple of episodes where we just want to like cap some stuff off, we come back over here as one of the things we want to cap off. I'm also perfectly cool with it staying here and working on this next session as well, and introducing a next animal, you know, next week instead. I'm 100% okay with that as well. To a degree, I might even prefer that, but I don't know, which is why I turn to you and what you're interested in seeing next session. You know, new animal Australia, new animal Africa, or the continuation of our construct over here. Now, with that said and done, something fun I noticed in between things was that we were actually up at 49% completion over here with Howling Harmony, so that's exciting. I really hope we nail it. I really hope we get it. Before we look back at trading again, if we even... yeah, maybe we'll do that again today. Before we look into that, Sipta, I think we need to go ahead and send you to the trade center, please and thank you. Look at all these babies. We got so many babies over here. So many babies. We're looking at... oh, you know what? We actually have quite a few reaching adulthood at the same time. These stats are also amazing. The trade center with you. These are good stats. I'll need to trade them out, you know, soonish. Berka? No. You're our alpha male. What do we have over here? Damadi is a baby. Berka Leggy. Go ahead and send you to the trade center. Always click on genetics and then assume trade center button will be there as well. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Berka, who is your current mate, buddy? Don't have a... You do. Leggy and Wenning both. I should bring Elok back. Wouldn't be inbreeding. Elok's in the trade center. Yeah, you know what? Why not? They're sending Leggy and Wenning both back, right? Gonna check over here. That's Wenning. I hope I'm saying the names even remotely correctly. Leggy. Yeah, they're both going away. Yep. Let's go ahead and get from our trade center over here. Elok. Those are some good stats. I mean, why wouldn't we? Seems like our trading was somewhat successful, by the way. Still a lot of animals to trade. Still a lot of animals to trade. I'm glad we kept you. Go ahead and move you over to here. Again, they should be fine. I mean, I checked, right? There was no inbreeding warning or anything. Just a recent birth warning. Right? So it'll be a while before they can have babies, but it'll happen. So, fair enough. That's the one thing. The other thing is Maragwan Mansion over here needs some care. Get ourselves another female over here. And I wish I could see their ratings and whatnot over here. You're pretty good. What about... Good enough. Over to exhibit trading. Take a look at our storage over here. Unlock Eastern Brown. These are the Eastern Brown snakes, right? Yeah. Female is what we need. Wulan, let's go ahead and send you to Trade Center. Why would you close the window on me? And, look, let's send you over to here. Cool. That's them taken care of. And, of course, the Titan Beetles as well. Having some issues with overcrowding. And go ahead and keep female and male. Hopefully we have okay stats over here. Actually, those are stats. What about our Eduardo here? Had to be just one of them. Had to be just one of them. So we need a new male. Pedro or Nathaniel. This guy's better. Then you in. And let's go ahead and get other buddy. Come on. Back to the trade center with you. Cool. These guys are upset, I think, because of the cleanliness. Yeah, so that'll be cleaned up. It's being cleaned up right now, in fact. So that'll be okay. But yeah, so that's all good. That's all good. That should clear out all these warnings. I believe dangerous fighting should come to an end as well. Excellent. Vet research complete. That's got to be the gorillas, I assume. And, okay, just the gorillas. Good stuff. Lots of progress there. Things are moving pretty nicely, actually. I'm fairly happy with how things have progressed today in terms of just all the things we got involved in. Like, we barely pressed play today, but we got so much done, you know? It's been an interesting session. If we take a look at animal trading, if we take a look at our trade history over here, let's just take a quick peek. So, how did we do over here? How did we do? Harshil went early. Yeah, you can see Guatemala and Charlotte didn't go. Nicolau actually went for 500. Anmol went for 75. Galina went for 1500. I feel like I could have charged a lot more for her. Naira went as well. Metzli went for 500. Chahaya went for 500 too. Okay. Guatemala 2500. Charlotte 1500. Come on now. I need you to load faster. I'm gonna forget the numbers. Guatemala. No, this Guatemala. Trade you for, let's say, 2250. And who was the other one? Charlotte for 1500, I believe. I could try 1250. Let's try 1200. Mental barrier, 1250 versus 1200. Why not? Everybody else I'm tempted to just kind of like wait on. To do it some other time. Especially because it's moving so slowly right now. We made some decent trades. Etzli for 1500. Sure, let's do Etzli as well. Viraj didn't go, not even for 200. Yikes. And Edicina didn't go for 2500. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and do Etzli. Trade you for 1200. Reasonable price, I think. And while all that's happening, up over here, let's bring our lines back. Not gonna trade them out for below what they're worth. I believe Sefu, Abeo, and Namono can all come back. Unfortunately, I have to do it once at a time. God, this could be so much more convenient if I could just... Let's see, can we do zoo, animals, filter to the West African lion. Now, in the trade center, we've got Adesina, Namono. Gotta keep the males apart, obviously. These guys are in the trade center. I believe one of them's already headed over, but I should be able to move them all still together over here. Good stuff. That way it'll be taken care of. I don't have to remember, or y'all don't have to remind me for next time. That way we'll have, again, this enclosure will be significantly more interesting for our guests. We'll hopefully draw more donations out of here as well. And we'll just see more activity. I'm not going to trade those animals out for less than what I think they're genuinely worth. You know, like, I'm okay with a little bit of wiggle room, but I have, I could very much house those lions myself as well, so why not do that for now? Take a quick peek again at our trade history. I just want to see, because I didn't know if... Yeah, okay, the number did not change. At least Shahaya found a home. Like, we should be happy about the ones that did find homes. It always feels good to see that kind of chapter come to a close, as it were. And we're back above the 20k mark, so hopefully we can keep that going higher and higher. I don't know if I'll do a trade session next session. Maybe. Just to give them another chance, and if that doesn't work, then we'll release to wild, or yeah, maybe release to wild, or sell them, or what have you. We'll see. Looks like guests are still using this. I mean, these guys are definitely not profitable, right? Yeah. Not yet. Perhaps soon. We'll find out, folks. This is, though, where we're going to call it a session. We've got a lot done, like I said. I'm fairly pleased with our involvement with the community challenge. I'm pleased with our progress over here. We also, in fact, put down, as I'm sure the time-lapse showed you, we put down a pip shot water and a chief beef over here. Gonna rename this right now. I've been getting some name suggestions. Go Grilla. There you go. Go Grilla is our chief beef, but I do need a name for our pip shot water. We'll probably put down some more vendors over here, as well as maybe some what's the word I'm looking for? Vending machines, just to make things a little bit easier. Get the mechanics working a bit harder over here. Gotta add you as well, buddy. Come on now. There you go. But yeah, for now, we need a name for that pip shot water. I do have a name for the enclosure already picked out. I'm just going to put it when this is all done. And I do have a name for... Oh, I should touch on this as well. I do have a name for the for this enclosure. However, I don't yet know personally if it's going to stay as only for the boars, or if we'll be adding some others as well, because warthog, sorry. My apologies. The warthog, or if we'll be adding other animals as well. So that's something for me to contemplate, and that will determine the name, right? That'll determine the name, because the names suggestions that I've got so far are very reliant on the fact that these are warthogs. Why did I call them a boar? I've watched Lion King like 1,000 times. I know the song like by heart when they introduce Pumbaa. Like, I know how the words go. How is warthog not like ingrained in my memory? Anyway, now one more thing I want to do. Ironic that I have Simba select. Didn't even notice I have Simba selected while I'm talking about that. But let's do one last thing over here, and that is actually send Simba over to the trade center. We rename him first. There we go. He's one dad, and I should start using that as a naming convention. And get from animal storage, get Tumaini in, because he is not going to be inbreeding with anybody here. We can have a bit more population growth rather than having to wait. So Tumaini, let's get you in here. And we'll, swap back and forth, so we have, because now we're mixing genetics, right? Though we only have the same female, so that's a problem. But we'll maybe eventually swap, new males in or new females in. We'll figure it out. But I do want to have this happen, and that way we can get these, all of these ladies off of contraceptives. There we go. Good and good. The BB over here, good stats overall. Immunity's kind of low, but that fluctuates a lot, right? Decent stats. We'll keep an eye out. But folks, wow, I shouldn't have said it was a session, 5 minutes before it was actually a session, but that is the session. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.